What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. Well, I got a very special treat for you guys today. I mean, I spent some time with a pro bodybuilder this weekend who's a friend of mine, a buddy of mine. I hadn't seen him in quite a while. The word on the street was he had some health complications and had to stop competing. Now, here's a guy that was undefeated in the amateurs, undefeated in the pros for a while. Top fucking bodybuilder. Guy was in magazines. People fucking respected him. They loved him. He was, a big name, had big contracts with fucking big companies, and had a health complication that made him step back and go, fuck, it's not worth it. I'm just fucking done. The doctor told him, stop or you're going to fucking die. Period. Done. That's it. I promised him that, I wouldn't come out and fucking say a whole bunch of shit. And, we talked about maybe him coming out in the future and just saying everything like a full tell-all, maybe coming on here, and doing like a tell-all as an anonymous, bodybuilder or something. But some of the information he shared with me, I got to say that I was wrong about some things. Okay, I was under the impression that, from who I've talked to in the past that were close to me, that not everybody used a lot of drugs. That they didn't really push things to limits that would make them sick. Because the other guys I know didn't get sick. And the guys that I hang around with that I grew up with and, were competing and stuff in Rhode Island, and even the bigger guys weren't killing themselves with drugs. They have kids, no health complications. I mean, nothing. So, I was like under the impression that like all this shit is bullshit. These guys are not taking a lot of shit. They're not getting sick. They're not fucking dropping dead. They're not having, health complications. And then I saw this guy and I was like, hey, where have you been? He's like, man, he goes, the doctor told me I had to quit or I was going to fucking die. I was like, what? I was like, holy shit, the rumors were that was something that happened. What the fuck happened? So he wound up in the hospital several times for several different things. Okay, one was a diuretic issue that fucked him up and almost killed him. And he said it was awful. He said his family was there with him, and he said it was just a fucking nightmare that, very well could have killed him and probably took fucking years off his kidney function because of this, this diuretic bullshit. And the other thing was he has this trainer guru, trainer, coach, whatever. And this guy is a top in the world of figure fitness, bodybuilding, bikini, whatever. Top guru, top coach. And he basically used him as a science experiment. He said, we need to do this, and to do this, we need to do this. And he basically doubled his drug intake. And when he doubled his drug intake, under the guise that if you double it, you'll fucking double your gains, he didn't double his gains. He got fucking sick. He got worse. He had health complications due to the fact that his body couldn't handle that much fucking drugs. And his cream hematocrit level went through the fucking roof. Doctor told him straight out, your blood is like fucking maple syrup, dude. I don't even know how it's pumping through your veins right now. You got to stop. You got to clean out. And, he made a promise to himself that it never got to the point where his health was in danger. It had already been in danger a few times. This one was, going too far. Now, the choices are you could clean out and try to come back later, but possibly the same thing will happen. So now, you're at the point where you're like, okay, I've pushed it as far as I can push it. My body's basically telling me, fuck you, I'm done. Do I not listen to that and continue, or do I listen to that and say, you know what, it's time to hang it up and step back and say, I did as much as I could without hurting myself, I'm done. And I think it was a hard decision for him to make, and he did. He stepped back and said, I'm done. He said, and, a lot of people are pissed at him for stepping back and stepping away because they, they counted on him to bring what he needed to and bring people to the seats and, watch the shows. And here's a guy who had big contracts. I mean, big fucking contracts with big companies. And he said that, the way that everything went down, he said he just felt like he was nothing. Like he was nobody. He was just used, abused, and fucking tossed aside. And his health was at stake. I'm sitting here listening to him talk, and, it was eye-opening. It was definitely eye-opening because, I myself hadn't seen, the complications that this guy's talking about. I mean, you hear about it, but it's like rumors. It's like you're like, what the fuck, this guy uses that. This guy fucking got some kind of nuclear fucking drug from the former USSR, and he's using it to, like, you hear these wild rumors. Like Dorian Yates is using interleukin 15, which was some kind of weird fucking rumor. And then, Dorian Yates is hooked up to fucking IVs while he sleeps, and that's why he's so big. Like these fucking crazy rumors. And that they're just that. They're just rumors. There's nobody being fucking, hooked up to shit trying to fucking turn him into the Hulk. But there are gurus and coaches out there on the top level that obviously don't really know what they're doing. Maybe for some people they double their stuff and all of a sudden they double their gains. But for this guy, it's not what happened. So now you're at the point where you didn't double your gains, you hurt the guy by health-wise, do you continue with your other clients doing the same thing, or do you step back and say, shit, I could fuck someone up for really good, and that could be it. They could die, and it would be my fault. You know, it's interesting how I would have never pegged this guy to do this. I really wouldn't have. So, you know, it was really good to see him. And like I said, we've discussed him coming out on here, or maybe as an anonymous bodybuilder, or doing his own thing, which would be great. If he does his own thing and decides that he wants his name out there, I'm going to plug the fuck out of him on here so that you guys get the real deal. No bullshit, real deal of what goes on in pro bodybuilding that is from the horse's mouth. And this guy, I'll tell you right now, the stuff he was telling me was on point. It wasn't like he was lowballing things to make himself seem not as bad as he is. Motherfucker was telling me some in-depth shit that I was just like, you know, and telling me complications and things that happen. And, you know, he still works with athletes now. And much like myself, if anybody, you know, has worked with me, they can tell you to your face with a straight face from the heart that I am more about longevity and health and not hurting yourself with anything than I am about winning a fucking trophy. I myself have chased those fucking trophies for years. Tore my pec twice, hurt my back, tore my forearm. I have fucked myself up chasing trophies. And that's not even with the drug use that I used back then. I mean, who the fuck knows what I did to my body with the drugs long term. But, you know, I look back now and I'm like, really, I had a great time, but was it worth it? If it takes 25 years off my life, if it killed me right now, would it be worth it? It probably wouldn't be worth it. So now his message is to the younger guys, like, look, this is the mistake that I made. You know, I was young, I was dumb, I was gung-ho, I didn't fucking care. But, you know, I have a family that I had to look out for, and it made me step back and say, fuck, you know, I can't do this. Like, I'm going to die and leave them fucking all widowed, and it's not cool. So hopefully, you know, you guys will hear more about this soon. I just wanted to kind of step in there and let you guys know that, you know, the effects in the side effects in the bad things that happen that we hear about, that a lot of times I said I've never heard about, this weekend I heard about. Biostraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostraining.com is the blog, and where the horrified this weekend bicep, and we're out.